Hey everyone, welcome to the West Coast Nerds. I'm your host Andrew, and today we're talking about MCU Phase Zero? Yep, that is right. MCU Phase Zero. But before I go into what my idea of that is, let's go ahead and just talk about Marvel in general. Marvel's throwing a lot of content at us over these last few years. I mean, Phase 4 had a total of 17 projects, totaling to about 2 days and 8 hours of content in just about 2 years. In contrast to that, the whole Infinity Saga from 2008 to 2019 had 3 phases with 23 projects, totaling about 2 days and 1 hour, excluding the TV shows like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent Carter, Daredevil, Punisher, Jessica Jones, etc. Since there's still some debate of whether these are canon to the main timeline, I will not be including them to the total MCU runtime for this video. But the point I am making, for better or worse, the MCU has become saturated. Why? Well, the clear answer is the Disney Plus shows. 7 movies have come out so far just for Phase 4. But that's on par with the other phases. What makes Phase 4 so different is the inclusion of 8 shows and 2 Marvel special presentations that all premiered on Disney Plus. However, the reality is that we are in the streaming wars. And everyone, like Disney, Warner Brothers, Paramount, Peacock, Netflix, and Apple, they are all looking for content. What better way to get people to subscribe to Disney Plus than throw a Marvel show at them every week? They know people love this universe and will always watch it. I know I do. And with all this content, what could go wrong? Well, let me tell you, it's quality. Yes, I still love the MCU and I think it's far from being over, but there's an obvious quality issue and fans have noticed. I personally believe the mindset now for fans and general audience members is they want quality over quantity. The good news is I really think Marvel is picking up on this and will be making some changes soon. What would these changes be? If I had to guess, it'll be movies will start taking more precedent and we'll get less Disney Plus shows, but we'll have to see about that with phases 5 and 6. But with all that said, and just go with me here, the idea of maintaining Marvel content on Disney Plus makes sense to me. They need to stay competitive and make sure they keep subscribers and obtain new ones. With all this talk with quality over quantity, I just want to throw an idea out there that I think would allow great MCU content for future phases for both the theatrical runs and Disney Plus shows. And with that, I'd like to present the idea of MCU Phase 0. Phase 0 will be a dedicated only Disney Plus movies, special presentations, and shows that don't contribute to the furthering narrative of the MCU. Just stories that are inside the MCU to explain histories of new and old characters or big events that have been mentioned but not fully told. With Phase 5 and 6, more Disney Plus shows it's inevitable. We already have them in the works with Daredevil Born Again, Echo, Agatha, etc. But my idea of Phase 0, after Phase 6 is over, perhaps we can have less shows in Phase 7 and then do more Disney content in Phase 0. And what could these be per se? Well, I'm glad you asked. Here are a few of my ideas. First on the list, we have Bashenga, the first Black Panther. This story will be a movie about the warrior shaman at a time when the 5 tribes of Wakanda were warring over the control of vibranium in their region. In the story, eventually the panther goddess Bass leads him to the heart-shaped herb, and he becomes the first king of Wakanda and unites the 4 tribes. Second on the list, we have Odin and Hela, a Disney Plus series. This show will follow Odin and his first daughter Hela's conquest to make Asgard the mightiest power in the realm, and Hela's non-stop evil ambitions leading Odin to stop her and imprison her in Hell. Next on the list, we have The Original Adventures of the Ant-Man and the Wasp, a Disney Plus series. A show about Hank Pym in the 70s and 80s becoming the Ant-Man, and his wife Janet Van Dyne becoming the Wasp and going on S.H.I.E.L.D. mission that leads to their final mission to stop a Soviet missile and results in Janet disappearing into the quantum realm. Next on the list, we have Young Yondu and the Ravagers, a Disney Plus series. The story of a young Yondu Odonta, starting with his life as a battle slave after his parents had sold him. Ravager Stikaro Gord eventually frees Yondu and welcomes him into the Ravagers. We then see the adventures of the Ravagers, and then Yondu becoming the leader of his own Ravager clan. Yondu eventually meets Eagle the Living Planet and start dealing in kids for him. When the Ravagers find out the kids were kidnapped and murdered, they exile him. Next on my list is a personal favorite. We have Steve Rogers, The Man Out of Time. This will be an animated series or movie. It will follow Steve Rogers as he goes back to the past to return the Infinity Stones, fight the Red Skull one more time, and make his way back to his love Peggy Carter and return the shield for Sam to be the next Captain America. Next on the list, we have The Ancient One, a Disney Plus movie. Learn more about the Celtic woman who becomes the Sorcerer Supreme in the 1500s. Watch as she stops the Dark Dimension from taking over the universe, obtains the Time Stone, and becomes the master of the mystic arts who will eventually teach Doctor Strange one day. Going down our list, we have Young Clint Barton, a Disney Plus movie. Follow young Clint Barton where he learns his archery skills from sword and archer Buck Chisholm, aka Trickshot. This movie will deal with diving into Clint's complicated family history, him and his brother joining the circus, and trying to stop Trickshot. Got a few more. Next we have The Hydra Files and The S.H.I.E.L.D. Files. Two separate shows, but both animated anthology shows. For example, with The Hydra Files, we'll follow stories of Rumlow, Alexander Pierce, Zola, and maybe the origins of Red Skull. And then on the other side, The S.H.I.E.L.D. Files, it'll be another animated anthology show, following maybe someone like Phil Coulson, Maria Hill, Sharon Carter, and their origins into joining S.H.I.E.L.D. Continuing down the line for the animated shows, we have The Children of Thanos. The show will follow the abduction and training of the children of Thanos and their lives leading to Avengers Infinity War. And last on the list, we have our final project, The Kree Skrull War, a Disney Plus show. A multi-season show discussing the 1,000-year conflict between the Kree and the Skrulls. This war started when the Skrulls had refused to submit to Kree ideologies and thus were marked as fugitives. Following the discussion of planet Skrullos, the Skrulls became an endangered species on the brink of extinction, and were forced into refuge. Watch as this war begins, is fought, and impacts lives all around the galaxy. So, that's it everyone. That's my idea of introducing MCU Phase 0 and perhaps tackling the quantity over quality problem Marvel is having. Is this something you'd like to see? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video, and I hope to have you back for more. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like button. For more videos on Marvel, DC, Star Wars, all nerdy news, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for updates on new videos. Thank you again, and stay nerdy everyone.